Morning, welcome back to Golf with Jen. Today we are going to have a little course vlog again, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about the course management tips that I showed you guys during the break. Basically how I hit and choose my iron shots into the green, and also I want to talk about putting because a lot of you guys asked me regarding green reading and how I do it.
What's in the bag? Of course, at the driving range, you don't have hazards. I don't know who's.
I'm pretty sure behind.
I see a red sticker on that.
Yeah, and I didn't see it.
So as you can see, it doesn't take that long for me to do all the things that I said in my course management video. If you haven't watched that already, go watch that because it'll make a lot more sense. But it was 190 yards to carry the bunker, 112 to the pin, and then I assessed my lie, which was in the rough obviously, and then made sure that my club was appropriate for my lie, and then I hit the shot. That's about it. Doesn't take very long. It just takes a little bit of practice of knowing what you need to shoot for, and then kind of what you need to be able to carry, hazards and stuff like that. But once you get the hang of it, it's really not going to take as much time as you think, and it's going to be worth it because you're going to be shooting better scores and missing hazards. So for this first hole, I have a 3-footer, so not much to show here, but keep watching and stay tuned. You know it's gonna be a good day when your ball matches your shirt, matches your putter. Okay, so remember how I said like you don't really shoot the pin? Okay, I lied. So basically what I would do, like right now my ball's over there, I'm in the cart, so obviously I'm gonna have to take some clubs with me. What I do is I shoot the pin, and I usually take either the club that I know I'm going to use or one club more and one club less. So usually I have like 3 clubs. That's kind of a safe bet. But you know, don't set your mind on anything yet. Just know that you're just getting an estimate, and it's probably not going to be the club that you're using. So something you might not have seen is this tree is in front of me, but because I'm hitting something like a wood, I know it's not going to get up that quick. So that tree actually wasn't in play. What I shot actually was the left side here versus this side, because if anything, this side would easily carry because the pin is behind. So based on the distance that I was shooting, I definitely would have been able to carry that. But the other thing that I wanted to make sure is if I were to pull it, which is obviously the miss that you have if you play a draw, the left side comes into play. And because the left side, the water over there actually comes in, as you can see, it's important to make sure that if you were to miss it, you would be able to carry that water. Because as I've said before as well, the most important thing is to not go into hazard, because hazards are an immediate stroke, which obviously we don't want. Like if you go on the right side, if you miss on the right side and there's bunkers, it's fine. And if I were to miss it left and I'm still able to carry that water, I'm still on grass or I'm in another bunker. So whatever it is, I knew that with that club I'm able to carry all the water hazard, unless I really like maximum chunkaroony, but that's like obviously not what we're trying to consider. We're trying to consider a bad shot that we might actually hit. So yeah, and I would say for a hole like this, especially with the conditions and it being back pin, it's fine to take more club. First thing you can see, the ball is up on a slope. My ball is down there on the slope down there because it hit the top of the slope and just rolled back down. But as you can see, because up here is obviously much less room, if I were to land it up there, there's a chance that I would just go over and be chipping versus now I'm putting. So I think that with that, my club choice was good for this pin position. So one thing that I kind of look at from afar when I'm putting, number one, where's the high point? Clearly you can see it's over there. Also, there's a water hazard on the left side, so everything is going to go this way. However, when you look at the green over here, it does look like it's going a little bit this way instead. So with anything, if it doesn't go right to left immediately with the slope, the grain is going to push it right to left either way. So maybe just take less break if you're going to go against the natural, which is where the high point and the low point is. I think one of the most common times for people to underclub is when the pin is in front, especially on a hole like this. I don't know if you can tell, but look how severe the uphill is. And it's just like when you see an uphill shot but you see a front pin, people always still just think about the front pin instead of how uphill it is. And they forget that even if you overclub, you're still on the green because front pin means there's a lot of green behind the pin. Whereas if you were to just go for the pin and just be focused so much on the pin and not on the slope and the green and the conditions, chances are you're going to be short. Especially on here, there's a false front. Anything short is going to go roll down. So you're going to go from being maybe even almost perfect to having a 30-yard chip. So definitely don't forget that even when the pin is in front, it's more important to make sure that you're on the green. So something else that you might not realize about why the pros are so good at putting. So when I played in Q school in the US, we were given the option to buy this thing called a green book. A green book is basically a map of the entire green. So it's like from the geographical standpoint of what a green looks like, where every single slope is. So they know exactly what every single putt from anywhere on the green is going to do. And that is the job of their caddies. Again here, first thing you can look at is how much obviously was up here just now. So this is going to be downhill. I knew that hitting a driver, and especially because I'm hitting a fade now, there was a chance that if I were to fade it, it would go in this bunker. But then again, it's a bunker for me. I don't think it's hard to play out of fairway bunkers, especially when I'm hitting a short iron. And the bunker lip here is not very high anyway, so I knew that I'd still be able to go for the green in two, even if I missed it. For fairway bunker shots, do not forget to take more club. It's always so important because you're trying to pick it, so you're just not going to hit it as far. So just take more club and swing smoother.
I did. I agree. I thought you had to wait to get there. It is good. That's the fun.
Like I said, in terms of putting, I think everybody needs to be a bit more realistic because when we play every day and when we make a long putt, I mean, there are times when it just goes straight on line and goes in the hole, and there are times when it goes offline or not what we're wanting to do and it still goes in the hole. So obviously with golf, there's always an element of luck, but as I said just now with pros, because they have the green book, they know exactly where they need to hit so that it hits the right break and it goes in the hole. So then what do they work on is starting the ball online, and that's why I've always said it's so important to start the ball online, because even if you have the right line, if you do not start the ball online, you're not going to get in the hole. If you do, it's luck. So if you really want to improve your putting, all you have to do is improve and make sure you're starting the ball online consistently versus worrying too much about like green reading, because I think green reading actually it'll come with experience as well. The more you practice, the more you read greens, the more you're going to be able to see the line. For me, I visually see the line on the green without actually, like when you see me read a putt, I usually walk towards the hole and I find the point where I feel like it's going to enter. So it's kind of like the straight line for the putt, and that's how I read the lines, because I can see it from that point and then I trace it back to my ball. But that's just because I practice a lot and that's the way I see it. It's not the same for everybody, so you need to find what works for you.
Just picked up with this one.
Yeah, go. On this hole, it might look like there's tons of space out there, but you do not want to go over that slope that I'm on. And if you land it up there, it's going to go over. So behind there, the chip is going to be very difficult. For this approach shot, I'm actually going to hit less club because the pin is in front and I don't want to leave myself with a weird like chip into the green. I'd rather have a full shot, so that's why I'd rather hit a hybrid even though it's a par 5 and it's still a pretty long ways to go. Actually, I had a really odd lie there because it's really fluffy. The rough is really fluffy and I kind of went under it and left the face open. But hopefully I'm still in a good spot. I think that still I would have hit a hybrid, because if I'd hit longer, I think I'd be further in the trees. So now that I missed it, hitting a hybrid was probably a good choice as well. So obviously not the best layup. I'm behind this tree. I'm not going to try to be cute and play with this at all. I'm just going to go there. Literally, I had a whole cart. Opened my bag, unzipped it, and only took the protein bar. Yeah, I see you. I see you over there. You know it's mine, don't you? That's why you're running away.
Get mine.
You enjoying that?
Mine.
So I know I did the flop on that one, but I would definitely recommend most people to hit a low one. I just hit the flop because it's what I'm most comfortable with. It's not an easy shot, so to get it over that slope and stay over the slope, you have such a higher percentage if you hit a low one versus if you hit a flop. This is again not going to be an easy shot, especially because I just rolled into the bunker. So now I'm a bit on a downhill lie. So I'm just going to aim for the center of the green, because there are bunkers in front of the green if you hit short on the left side where the pin is. So center green, try to give ourselves a putt. possibly one of my least favorite shots just because you hit a good one. If you hit left, you have to play with those bunkers. If you hit right, you're going to be blocked by the trees. So it's just a very difficult hole in general. And obviously, as like a draw player, naturally I find it difficult just to look at the trees on this right side. And you're also always like the ball is always above your feet, which makes it tend to draw. So yeah, just not an easy hole.
Kick right. Kick right. Yeah. Nice try. We'll give you this one. Good putt though.
That about concludes today's video, guys. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss an episode of Golf with Jen.